Hello and welcome to the Spinster's Library of Gloom. Yes, I'm filming this early in the morning before I have to go to work, and the sun has decided that it just can't be bothered today. So it is a bit dark. I've got my lamp on here. Not the best picture quality, I know, but I'm sure we can all get over it. Today, I want to talk about New Year's resolutions. I am filming this on New Year's Eve, so of course I have my New Year's resolutions all set and ready. I want to talk you through some of my resolutions relating to reading books, making booktube videos, and just general life. But I want to start with the Spinster's Guide to New Year's Resolutions in 4 easy steps. New Year's resolutions, you can love them or hate them. It's weird to me how many people actually hate them, and specifically how many people make fun of people who have New Year's resolutions. It's totally cool if you don't do New Year's resolutions, that's fine by me, but there is absolutely no reason to make fun of people who do. Now, I have been doing New Year's resolutions for maybe the past 4 or 5 years, so it's a new thing for me as well. And in that years, I have created a whole philosophy around New Year's resolutions, which I will present to you now. Here is how I do New Year's resolutions. The first step is to choose ones that are small and unimportant. I don't think that New Year's Eve is the time when you want to set big life-changing goals. There's plenty of research that shows that we don't actually tend to stick to those goals. I can see why people do them. New Year's Eve is the time when you look at yourself and you think, where do I want to be at this point in a year's time? And then you decide to go to the gym and to eat a bit healthier and to be a bit more wise with your money. And you see yourself in a year's time fitter, healthier, richer, more sensible, more organized, all of these things. And then typically by the end of January, you've forgotten all about them. So I think that those kind of big life-changing goals are better suited to be thought of throughout the year. So for example, I am very conscious of my money, and I kind of try and work on that throughout the year. That's why it doesn't make it into my New Year's resolutions at all. For me, New Year's resolutions are for small scale and really for unimportant things that if you don't stick to them, it's kind of fine. It doesn't really matter. Some examples of past years have included my resolution to own more than one pair of shoes. And now I do. If I hadn't stuck to that, if I decided halfway through the year that, it's fine to just have a pair of shoes, that would have been totally okay. It wouldn't have made a difference to my life. But now I actually have a selection of shoes and I'm quite pleased with that small collection. Last year, in a New Year's resolution for 2018, I decided that I wanted to be the sort of person who wears jewelry occasionally. And look at me wearing earrings now. Really small ways of thinking about how I want to change and in which direction I want to go. And if I don't stick to them, it doesn't matter at all. Step 2 is to make your resolutions achievable, and that's a pretty obvious one. I don't feel like I need to talk much about it. For example, in 2018, I decided to read 60 books. That's, for me personally, an achievable goal of 5 books a month. Now, I was eyeing the number 100, but I do have a life and I'm quite a slow reader, so that was never going to happen. So I'm glad I stuck to 60. I hit that goal very comfortably and I can feel good about myself for doing so. Step 3 is to make your resolutions very specific. So we all know that be better at money or eat healthier isn't necessarily a specific enough goal, so that when you try and stick to it, you're not actually sure what you want to stick to. So make them specific enough that you can very clearly check off that goal at the end of the year or not. Let's go back to the shoes goal. Do I have more than one pair of shoes now? Yes, I do. Tick. And step number 4, most importantly almost, write them down or record them otherwise. like in a YouTube video. If your memory's anything like mine, you won't remember your New Year's resolutions by mid-January if you don't write them down, but maybe that's just me. With that in mind, let's move on to my actual New Year's resolutions for 2019, and we'll start with the category of reading. My first resolution is just a numbers goal. It's what I put into the Goodreads reading challenge. And for next year, again, I want to read 60 books. It worked out really well for me this year. I ended up with, I think, 70 or 71 books read. So I just want to stick to that. I like seeing the little bar go up as I read each book, and it gives me a completely unimportant, small sense of achievement when I get there. So 60 books is my Goodreads goal. By the way, my Goodreads account, as well as my other social media accounts, are all linked in the description box if you want to check them out and add me as a friend. My second goal is to casually, slowly reduce my TBR a bit. What you see behind me is not actually my entire TBR, because there is a big bag of books stashed away in the corner where no one shall ever see it. And that is full of books that I've bought in the last sort of 3 or 4 months that I haven't gotten to hauling yet. Now, you might know I do these book hauls with my friend Robin, the guest spinster, and we haven't been able to do one in a while, but we'll get to that in January, and then you'll get to see all of those books that I've bought in the last quarter of the year, and then they will be added to the shelf behind me. So my TBR, very predictably, because every booktuber goes through that, my TBR has been growing, and I'm not too keen on that. So in 2019, I want to try and, if not reduce that number, at least keep it at the same number of books. So I want to read at least as much as I buy. My next goal is Goodreads related. Now, I use Goodreads to track my reading progress and to show you what I'm reading and when I'm reading it, but I'm always really lazy about writing reviews on there. So I want to write at least a 1-sentence review for every single book that I read. Even if that one sentence is, "It was shite," at least, I want to have something under each of my ratings, even just to remind myself if I liked the book, how I liked it, what I liked and didn't like about it. And my fourth and last goal is to finish or DNF books rather than leaving them in the currently reading limbo where they tend to stay and rot away and not receive any attention from me whatsoever. At the moment, there are 4 books in my currently reading section on my Goodreads, none of which I have even looked at in about a month and a half. So much for my reading goals. What are your reading goals? So I asked that question on Twitter and got some really good, interesting responses. So let me know what your reading goals are. I'm always really interested, because I'm a bit nosy, to see what other people set for themselves. Next, I want to talk about my Booktube goals, and I'm quite excited about these. The first and most expensive goal is to finally buy myself a camera. You may know that I film on my smartphone, and I use the front-facing camera on that phone, and bless it, it's doing a good enough job, but it is a very old phone and the camera's not the best, and I really finally want to buy myself a proper camera. I've been doing this YouTube thing for about a year and a couple of months now, and I'm really enjoying it. This is definitely a new hobby for me, and as such I want to, invest some money into equipment for it. So I've been saving up my salary for the past few months, and I think I will have enough cash to buy myself a fancy new camera at about the end of January, start of February. So you can expect some cool looking videos then, I hope, if I know how to use it. I have never owned a camera in my life, so we'll see. This also means that I have recently signed up to the Amazon affiliate program, and if you know me, you can imagine how conflicted I am about this. I am certainly not the biggest fan of Amazon. I'm not the biggest fan of buying books new anyway. Check out my video on buying secondhand books if you're interested. But it is a very easy way to make a penny or two with this YouTube channel. There aren't going to be any affiliate links in this video because I'm not really talking about any specific products. But if you see them in future description boxes, then just be aware that I want you to only use them if you were gonna buy that book on Amazon anyway. Because we all know Amazon, kind of a crappy company, don't really want to encourage buying there. But at the same time, many people do, and I do as well. Just picture the moral dilemma and feel free to ignore those affiliate links if they should show up in the future. My second goal for 2019 is to make my videos even more accessible and easy to navigate. So I have introduced timestamps this year into my description boxes. I have always had lists of books in my description boxes. I've always had covers of books in the thumbnail. I did a whole video about why I find it annoying when people don't do that. And the reason why I do these things is because I think it's important to make the viewer's experience as easy as possible. When I click on a video, I want to know what the video is actually about. I want to be able to skip to certain parts in the video if I want to, and it just makes the viewing experience more pleasant in my opinion. So that's what I've been striving to do. And in 2019, I want to put a bigger emphasis on getting closed captions in my videos as much as possible. Closed captions, or subtitles if you're not aware, are very important for accessibility of videos because, you know, they make them easier to watch for people who have hearing problems, people who are deaf, people whose native language is not the language of the video, people who are in noisy environments. Closed captions are great, but they are a lot of work. If you can't afford to pay someone else to do them, which I certainly can't, that means it takes a really long time to caption those videos. And I want to be able to do that for at least some of my content. I know I won't have the time to do it for all of my videos, but I just want to improve on what I've got at the moment. My third Booktube goal is to do a live stream. I love watching live streams and I would love to do one. And I'm sure the right opportunity will present itself in the new year. We'll see about that. I also have to read up on how it actually works as a technicality. But yeah, I'd love to do it. Let me know in the comments below if you'd be interested. And if you'd be interested, what time of the day do you actually have time to watch it live? And my last Booktube related goal is to be a better commenter. I love receiving comments on my videos. Who doesn't? Exactly. So I need to be better at actually commenting on the videos that I watch because I always have a lot of thoughts about videos when I watch them, and then most of the time I just fail to communicate those thoughts. So I want to make sure I comment on at least, 3 or 4 videos every day, just so that I can provide the same amount of feedback to other people that other people give me on my videos, which is always very much appreciated. Right, we've made it through the book and Booktube related New Year's resolutions. Now we get to my life resolutions, and this might be a little bit of a disappointment, but as I said at the beginning of the video, my New Year's resolutions tend to be small and unimportant. And the very first one is to finally sort out my nails. Yeah, you can sort of see it on here. My nails just kind of peel off, like they don't really crack, they're just, the top layer of them peels off, and I've got that on every single one of my fingernails. And it's annoying me because I would like to grow them out a little bit. I would like them to be a bit stronger. So I'm going to have a good look at what I eat. I mean, I take supplements anyway because I'm anemic. I'm going to use so much hand lotion that you could fill a bathtub with. I'm going to file them properly, and I'm just going to see what the cause is that all of my fingernails are just splitting off the top. I don't like it. I would like to have nice, longish nails. My second New Year's resolution is to pick up guitar playing again. I have a music degree that partly focused on guitar performance, but after I did my final recital in 2017, I haven't picked up my guitar again. I really hated playing it by the end. I hated the hours and hours of practice. I have really bad stage anxiety, and frankly, I'm not the most talented guitarist by any means. But lately, I thought about picking it up again, and in the last few days, I've taken my guitar out of the case for the first time in ages and just played around with it a little bit. While doing that, I quickly discovered that my technique is gone, the strength in my hands and fingers is gone, my calluses are gone, and I just want to build that up again a little bit, just for fun, and without the pressure of being marked, being judged, or being watched by anyone. That'll be nice. And my final silly New Year's resolution is to teach my cats to jump through a hoop. Yes, I do love training my cats. They can now more or less reliably do a sit, a high five, a fist bump and a little spin. And I think it'd be really fun to teach them to jump through a hoop or a frame or some other kind of object. If you're interested in cat training, it's a lot of fun. It's very stimulating for the cats. They love it, and it kind of challenges them in ways that you don't normally. And it gives you an opportunity to interact with your cat in a way that you just normally wouldn't otherwise. The idea that cats are untrainable is wrong and outdated and comes from people who think cats are pieces of furniture rather than pets. Check out the Instagram and YouTube account Cat School, which will be linked in the description box, for some really cool instructions and ways that you can get started. That was it. I hope you have a fantastic New Year's Eve. I don't really know what I'm going to do tonight, but it probably involves sitting on the sofa and hugging my cats as they get frightened of the fireworks. So hopefully your New Year's Eve will be a little bit more exciting, but if not, then enjoy whatever you're doing. Have a wonderful start to the new year. As we Germans say, guten Rutsch ins neue Jahr, which means I hope you slide smoothly into the new year. And I will see you again in January. Thank you for watching. Bye.